Welcome back to the Ryoko Show. I'm so happy you're here with me today. If you're new to the show, welcome. I'm Ryoko, and in this space, we focus on creating a life that's intentional, authentic, and true to yourself. And it's all about embracing your desires, your dreams, and living in alignment with your true self. So let me ask you, have you ever found yourself feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or even resentful because you said yes to something when you really didn't want to? Today, we are talking about something that's so important for creating a life you truly love. I'm talking about boundaries, more specifically, the power of saying no. Now I know this might sound a little uncomfortable at first. Saying no can feel hard, especially for women, right? We often feel like we have to say yes to everything, to please others, to keep peace, or avoid feeling guilty. But here's the thing. Setting boundary isn't about rejecting people or being selfish. It's about saying yes to the things that truly matter to you. So today, I'm going to share why saying no is actually empowering and how it can help you live a life that's more intentional and true to you. So let's get started. Why is it so hard to say no? For many of us, especially as we get older, we start to realize that we've spent a lot of time saying yes to the things that don't really serve us. It could be family obligation, work demands, or even friendships that drain us. We say yes out of habit or fear. But the problem is every time we say yes to something that doesn't align with what we want, we are actually saying no to our own needs and desires. But what if we could start saying no to things that don't support us, so we can say yes to the things that do? Imagine how much more energy, clarity, and joy we would have. So how do we do this? How do we say no without feeling guilty or bad? First of all, remember that saying no is not about being rude or rejecting others. It's about protecting your time and energy. Time is precious, we all know that. And once it's gone, we can't get it back. So when you set a boundary, you are actually choosing to protect your most valuable resource. Maybe you have a friend who always wants to meet up, but you are feeling tired or you just need some time alone. Instead of automatically saying yes, you can say something like, I'd love to see you, but I need to take care of myself today. How about next week? It's clear, polite, and most importantly, it's true to what you need in that moment. So it's important to remember that saying no doesn't mean you are not a good person or that you don't care about others. It just means that you are prioritizing your own well-being, and that's something everybody can understand. And in fact, when you set healthy boundaries, you show others how to respect you too. Now, let's talk about the benefits of saying no. Setting boundaries and saying no has so many positive effects. First, it helps you protect your energy. When you say yes to everything, you're spreading yourself too thin, and that leads to burnout. But when you say no to things that don't align with your goals or value, you have more energy to devote to what really matters. Second, saying no helps you focus on your goals. We all have dreams, right? Whether it's starting a business, writing a book, improving your health, or something else. It takes time and focus to make those dreams happen. But if you are constantly saying yes to things that don't help you move closer to those goals, you'll never make real progress. Setting boundaries allows you to focus on the things that will actually move you forward. Another benefit of saying no is that it improves your relationship. I know it may sound strange to say that setting boundaries can actually improve your relationship, but it's true. When you are clear about your limits and communicate them effectively, people actually respect you more. They understand where you stand, and that creates a healthier, more balanced dynamic. And because you're saying yes only to the things that align with your values, you'll find yourself spending time with people who truly support you and respect your boundaries. But let's be real. Sometimes saying no can feel really uncomfortable. We might worry about letting people down, disappointing others, or feeling guilty. I totally get that. But here's the thing. I want you to remember, your worthiness is not determined by how much you do for others. You are enough just the way you are. We've all been there. You feel like you have to say yes to avoid conflict, to make people happy, but in the long run, constantly saying yes to things that don't serve you can lead to resentment, burnout, and feeling of being overwhelmed. When you say no, you are actually honoring your true self and creating space for things that will nourish and support you. So how can you start saying no in a way that doesn't feel like you are a bad person? First step is to be clear about your priorities. What are the things that really matter to you? What are your values? What are your goals? When you know what's most important to you, it becomes much easier to say no to the things that don't align with those values. Second step is to be kind but firm. You don't have to explain yourself in great detail or give a long excuse. You can simply say, I can't do that right now, or I need to pass on this. You don't need to, but if you want to, you can offer an alternative. But always remember that you don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing yourself. And third, practice self-compassion. It's normal to feel a little guilty when you say no, but remind yourself that you are not responsible for everyone else's happiness. And it's okay to put yourself first sometimes. A few years ago, I was saying yes to everything. I was constantly running around, trying to please others and doing things for everyone else, and not leaving any time for myself. I was tired, stressed, and honestly, little resentful. It wasn't until I realized that I was losing myself in the process and I decided to make a change. I started setting boundaries. I said no to social events that I didn't feel like going to. And I said no to work requests that didn't align with my priorities. And you know what? I felt more at peace. I felt like I had more time for the things that matter to me. My health, my business, my relationship with people who supported me. So saying no didn't make me a bad person. It made me a more authentic person, someone who was aligned with what I really wanted in life. And that's why I'm here today, sharing this with you, because you deserve to have that too. So how can you start setting boundaries today? Start assessing where your time and energy is going. And are there things or people that drain you or make you feel exhausted? Are you saying yes to things just because you feel obligated? Start small. Maybe you begin saying with one thing this week that doesn't serve you. It could be a meeting at work, a favor you don't want to do, or even a family obligation that you don't feel like going to. It's okay to say no, and it's really empowering. You are taking back control of your time, and you are saying yes to your health, your goals, and your joy. And you are creating space for what's truly important to you. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope this episode has helped you feel a little more confident about saying no and setting boundaries that support your best life. And if you found this episode helpful, please share it with your friend or somebody who can benefit from this episode. And if you are ready to take your journey even deeper, check out the show note for a roadmap to a life you love. You can learn very simple 5 steps to create the life you want. And thank you for being there, and I'll talk to you next time on The Ryoko Show. Keep shining.